People of Earth, good evening. We are February 19, 2024. Here are the developments of the current galactic events impacting the future of Earth as a planetary civilization. And I am delighted to welcome you for this 18th episode of Star Nation News. This week, we will have a closer look into the solar system, particularly centered around events happening on Lune, Earth Moon. Excelsior High Commander 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃 reports about events that have recently occurred on Earth Moon. Some major changes Well, how wonderful it is to hear about the core module of the moon. It seemed to me very similar to the core module of the Nibiru ship that Ia had kindly shared with me, the sight and the presence when he took me to see the engine of the Nibiru. And it is the same thing. And I may remind quickly that the engine of the Nibiru is a soul that Ia fractal from source. A piece of source, the material, the substance that he imbued in his ship to awaken it as a sentient being, an organic sentient being. And on the moon, in the moon, it's the same thing. But as 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃 described it, it was slightly different because it's a different technology, a different culture, obviously. In the center core of Ia's ship, the core engine is a soul, it's a sphere. Sparkling, crackling blue light sphere. But in the moon, 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃 described a mechanism with rings that are translucent, etheric mechanism, and it's more of an animate, sentient mechanism rather than a soul in the Nibiru. So this sentient technology was created and animated by an ancient culture that obviously are the builders, but it's their technology. But the 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃 brought the moon into our star system. So it's a symbiosis between different civilizations, cultures, races, technologies, and natures of consciousness. This could explain the earthquakes occurring on the moon recently. Because the moon is warming up, the core is warming up, because the consciousness in its core has been awakened. So the moon, of course, will not move, but it will wake up. The consciousness will wake up to release knowledge. And this knowledge will be implemented in the technologies that are at the moment produced on the moon. The factories I visited last year producing medbed technologies, anti-gravity cars technologies that I could see as well. And these medical technologies, also there are technicians and medics from Earth who are being trained in these technologies, how to use the medbeds and how to function. The moon is to become a hub to heal people, medical hub. And it has started with the army, and then the humans of the future, the children who will make the future, who have severe disease, will be cured first, and then it will pass to the next step will be the more in need people, whatever age. But children will be treated first, which is logical for the children of the future of humanity. Wonderful to hear Ia's take on the moon, on what 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃 shared. So here it is for the moon for this week, and we may come back on the topic when 𝓇𝒾𝓃 will have more information about the bringing back of the crew. You remember it was in chrysalis parts. It was really beautiful, as described in the cedars. Of course, you will see all the visuals and drawings about it. Well, you've heard from 𝓇𝒾𝓃 about High Commander Chiara. So High Commander Chiara is the internal liaison high officer for the 𝐻𝓊𝓉𝓉. I'm going to remind you how the structure and the organization works in the military grades in the Galactic Federation of Worlds, that you can understand better who is Chiara and how 𝓇𝒾𝓃 fits into this hierarchy. So you have first the military infrastructure. The military infrastructure is composed as such. You have the High Command, the Siege of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which includes at the top of it the Galactic Federation of Worlds High Council. And then you have the Marshal High Command. This is where for all ships all over the galaxy, all facilities of the Federation all over the galaxy, all the decisions, the final decisions are taken there. Then you have all the ships, and the ships are structured as such. You have in each ship, that's the structure of one ship, and all the motherships have the same structure. So the mothership admirals, let's take for instance the Excelsior, XL6, or called Excelsior by the Earth Alliance people. The mothership admiral, here we will have Ardana, High Commander Ardana. There's one per mothership. And under her is the High Command officers. They are also called High Commanders, compared to Ardana, who is called High Commander Admiral. You have then the High Commander officers, which all of them have assignations. We will see this further ahead. Then under them, you have commanding officers who will apply the decisions taken in the High Command. Under the commander officers, you have the 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃 captains of smaller fleets of 12 ships, compared to the commanding officers, who some of them can command whole fleets. Under the 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃 captains, you have the ship captains, of course, and the personnel and the pilots, and under them the trainees. Let us see now the composition of the High Command of the Excelsior. This is only for the Excelsior, one mothership among many. So this is the actual composition of the battle station, XL6 Excelsior High Command. You have first High Commander Admiral Ardana. Under her, 6 command officers. The decisions for the battleship are taken together with High Commander Ardana and the command officers. Ardana takes final decisions, and the command officers are going to discuss how they are going to apply it throughout the hierarchy of the Excelsior. So the 6 command officers are at the moment 𝐻𝓊𝓉 is a Pleiadian 𝐻𝓊𝑒𝓉, is the head of the tactical operations. He's the one who could be called the war commander or the battle commander, the operation commanders when it comes to conflict in space. Then you have 𝓇𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃, Pleiadian 𝓻𝓊𝓉, is fleet coordinator and external diplomatic liaison. That means that he is going to have under his command the fleet commanders, and he is going to say what fleet is going to go to and what operation. External diplomatic liaison, he will be the emissary between the Excelsior and, for instance, the ℏ Command, the Earth Alliance, the Cedars. He's the one who travels to be the liaison between all different organizations and the Excelsior. And here is Kiara. She's a Pleiadian 𝓻𝓊𝓉, internal diplomatic liaison. Internal diplomatic liaison is being the emissary between the different services of the Federation, and also related to the Excelsior. For instance, she will be the liaison between the Excelsior and other ships of the Galactic Federation. She's only the liaison for all the infrastructures of the Galactic Federation and the Excelsior, compared to 𝓇𝒾𝓃, who is the liaison between the Galactic Federation facilities and other non-Galactic Federation organizations. Then you have Denethor, Pleiadian Erahel, is a science high officer. And he's working with the secret space programs, as we call them on Earth, and he's the scientific liaison for them. So he is going to train super soldiers who join the Earth Alliance. He's going to be the lead scientist in developing technologies to improve the efficiency of the Earth Alliance. He's going to work closely with the secret space program, closely with Solar Warden, for instance. The positive space program, Earth space program, is involved in the creation of the future Starfleet of Earth. He was there in the 1940s and 1950s as a liaison, scientific liaison with Earth, working with the US Navy. Then you have 𝐻𝓊𝓉𝓉𝓉. He's an Umayyad, and he is in charge of communications, all the technical operations with communications. And finally, you have Dar-Mayel. He's a Pleiadian Nor. He is in charge of strategy and combat logistics. So that will help you more to understand how all of these people work and who they are to each other in their everyday work and operations. So I hope you enjoy this news. I did enjoy hearing about the moon, about her soul, and I meet you next week for another Star Nation news and news from our galaxy.